Have you ever stared at your reflection? A question nagging at the back of your mind? You eat clean, you hit the gym, you meticulously follow every piece of health advice. Yet there it is, that creeping fatigue in your legs, that inexplicable weakness that makes every stare feel like a mountain, that slow, agonizing struggle to push yourself out of a simple chair. It's not just aging, is it? Number. Because deep down, you feel it. This isn't normal wear and tear. This is something far more insidious, a silent saboteur working against you, eroding your strength from the inside out. And here's the shockwave that will reverberate through your understanding of health. It's not about what you're failing to do. It's about what you're doing every single day with absolute conviction, believing it's the right thing, and it's slowly, subtly, tragically destroying your mobility. The vast majority of seniors, good health-conscious people just like you, are making a critical, quiet error. They do it with unwavering assurance because they've been told generation after generation that fruits are the epitome of health. Natural, pure, good. And yes, many are. But here is the stark, undeniable reality that no one dares to discuss. Not every fruit, especially not every modern fruit, is a friend to the aging body. In fact, some of the very fruits we mindlessly toss into our grocery carts, the ones we consume without a second thought every single week, are orchestrating a slow, agonizing decline. They are the hidden culprits behind that mounting leg weakness, the searing knee pain, the relentless joint inflammation, and the terrifying realization that walking is becoming an uphill battle, not a simple pleasure. The very fruits promoted as vital for wellness may actually be the silent assassins of your mobility, your balance, and your leg strength. You see, the human body is a masterpiece, but it changes. As we accumulate years, our intricate circulatory system becomes more fragile. Our metabolism, once a raging furnace, now a smoldering ember. And the foods that once fueled our youthful vigor can now, paradoxically, begin to quietly, profoundly harm us. Especially certain fruits. They appear innocent, don't they? A burst of sweetness, a vibrant color. But beneath that deceptive exterior, they conceal an arsenal of potent acids, concentrated carbohydrates, and other biochemical triggers that wreak havoc on your blood sugar, ignite systemic joint inflammation, and yes, meticulously dismantle the strength in your legs. And what's the most terrifying aspect of this slow-motion disaster? The damage is so gradual, so insidious, so utterly undetectable, until that fateful morning you wake up with a sharp, stabbing pain in your calves, a dull, persistent ache in your thighs, or a bizarre, unyielding tightness in your knees after nothing more than a short, leisurely stroll. This isn't just a theory. This is a quiet epidemic. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain. Today, I'm going to unmask the 7 deadliest fruits that any senior over the age of 60 absolutely must banish from their diet, especially if you possess the fierce determination to shield your legs from long-term harm, debilitating pain, and irreversible weakening. Despite their seemingly harmless allure, none of these fruits are your allies. I promise you, after you've absorbed the raw, unfiltered truth I'm about to share, you will never look at your fruit bowl the same way again. So, if you value your independence, if you cherish your strength, if you are committed to maintaining stable, powerful, and pain-free legs for years to come, then you need to stick with me until the very end. Your body has been waiting for this seismic wake-up call. But hold on, before we dive into this groundbreaking revelation, I need you to do something critical. Smash that subscribe button. Enable all notifications. Because right here on this channel is where we expose the truths that no one else dares to utter. And I need to know you're with me. If you're watching right now, if this vital information is resonating deep within you, type 1 in the comments section below. If not, type 0. Your voice, your engagement, is more important than you can possibly imagine. Let's unravel this mystery, starting with the very first fruit on our list. It's a fruit lauded, celebrated, almost worshipped for its ability to reduce inflammation. But for elders, it may be doing the exact opposite. Let's talk about pineapple. Pineapple, the first fruit, the silent inflammation conspirator. Imagine a tropical paradise, juicy, refreshing, a burst of sunshine. And for decades, due to a powerful enzyme called bromelain, pineapple has been heralded as nature's ultimate anti-inflammatory, a miracle cure, some even whisper. But here's the brutal, inconvenient truth that has been meticulously hidden. While bromelain can have anti-inflammatory properties, for aging bodies, pineapple itself can be the very cause of inflammation, the insidious architect of your declining mobility. You see, pineapple is a powerhouse of strong, naturally occurring acids. And those natural sugars, they are far from harmless, particularly when your body has crossed the threshold of 60. Let me illuminate this dark corner of dietary deceit. As the years tick by, our delicate blood vessels, the intricate highways that nourish every cell, grow more fragile, more sensitive. They no longer respond to sudden surges of sugar with the youthful resilience they once possessed. And despite its touted benefits, pineapple delivers a staggering, concentrated dose of natural sugar directly into your bloodstream. How does this biochemical betrayal unfold? It triggers a rapid, violent spike in blood sugar levels. And that spike, it is a micro tsunami that assaults the tiny, vital blood vessels supplying your legs, your feet, and your muscles. Over time, as this subtle assault continues, your circulation deteriorates. Less oxygen, less vital nutrient delivery to your lower limbs. And the inevitable, crushing result? Pain, unrelenting exhaustion, bloating, swelling, that oppressive weight in your legs after nothing more than a short stroll. That dull, dragging ache that seems to cling to you. That persistent stiffness in your knees as you try to stand. Your ankles, once nimble, now ache and swell, even after you've been sitting for hours. But wait, there's more to pineapple's deception. Beyond its sugar content, pineapple is intensely acidic. And that acid, once absorbed into your system, becomes a corrosive irritant to your joints, especially if you're already battling the silent fire of inflammation or the gnawing agony of arthritis. It doesn't just smolder, it pours fuel onto the embers, igniting the burning sensation in your ankles, your hips, your knees. Some even report a profound, undeniable heaviness in their legs after consuming pineapple, as if the very essence of their strength is being gradually, relentlessly siphoned away. And you must be aware of this, especially if you're on any medications, particularly blood thinners. That celebrated enzyme, bromelain, can savagely interact with certain pharmaceuticals, either rendering them dangerously potent or terrifyingly ineffective. But the most chilling aspect of pineapple's betrayal? There are no grand, obvious, immediate negative effects. No flashing red lights. No instant searing pain that screams, "Stop!" Instead, it infiltrates. It works its way in, quietly, patiently, until one devastating day, you simply realize you cannot move as you once could. The heartbreaking tragedy: the vast majority of seniors remain utterly unaware that the very fruit they diligently consume for health reasons may be the silent, primary contributor to the annual, inexplicable weakness they experience in their legs. So what can you do? It's not about hating pineapple. It's about knowledge. It's about conscious choice. And it's about having the courage to speak up, to question, particularly if you've been grappling with persistent leg pain or that baffling, unexplained swelling. The harm is subtle, but it is profoundly, genuinely real. Now, if a fruit celebrated for its anti-inflammatory properties, pineapple, can be this devastating for aging legs, what monstrous secrets does the next one hold? It's supple, it's delightful, it's universally championed for boosting muscle power and potassium levels. But it could be leading you down a path of grave deception. Let's peel back the layers on bananas. Bananas, the muscle imposter, the great deceiver of strength. Soft, sweet, packed with potassium, bananas are lauded as the ultimate energy booster, the cramp preventative, the muscle builder. Every athlete, every health guru, every loving grandchild hands them to their elders with the best intentions. But for the aging body, for those of us navigating the intricate dance of senior years, the situation is drastically, terrifyingly different. Bananas are a treasure trove of natural sugars and fast-digesting carbohydrates. What does this mean in plain, unambiguous terms? It means that immediately after you consume a banana, your blood sugar levels don't just rise, they skyrocket. And your body, already battling the slow creep of age, begins to develop insulin resistance. When this occurs repeatedly, relentlessly, the vital flow of oxygen-rich blood through your delicate vessels weakens. Inflammation, the silent killer, surges, and your legs, the very pillars of your independence, suffer immensely. You begin to experience a dull, persistent soreness when you walk or climb stairs, a heavy, leaden sensation in your legs after meals, and a terrifying, unyielding stiffness in your calves that seems to defy all reason. But the story of the banana's insidious impact doesn't end there. Bananas are also notorious for causing fluid retention, particularly if your heart is already facing challenges. The cruel consequence? Stiff, aching joints, swollen feet, swollen ankles that refuse to fit into your comfortable shoes. The effect is agonizingly silent. You consume them, believing you are fortifying your muscles, nurturing your body. Instead, with every bite, they may be subtly, systematically depleting your strength. The most bitter pill to swallow? It won't hit you like a lightning bolt. Number. The decline is gradual, the pain a slow burn that intensifies over time. Eating bananas might, over years, make every movement a monumental effort, every step a searing reminder of lost mobility. So if your legs frequently feel heavy, persistently ache, or swell inexplicably, it's time to cast a critical, suspicious eye upon the bananas on your plate. They may not be the benevolent friend they pretend to be. And what if something even smaller, something seemingly more innocent, could achieve this level of destruction? A fruit so unassuming, so charming, so seemingly naive, yet it holds the power to set your joints ablaze. Let's unmask grapes. Grapes, little fruit, monumental inflammatory effect. They appear utterly naive, don't they? Tiny, juicy, effortless to pop into your mouth as a snack. They bask in a stellar reputation. Heart-healthy, brimming with antioxidants. But the overwhelming majority of people are terrifyingly unaware of this. For elderly individuals, grapes can unleash a torrent of mild leg pain, relentless stiffness, and agonizing inflammation. Why? Because grapes are loaded with fructose, a seemingly harmless substance that, in high concentrations, becomes a biochemical weapon. Fructose is a unique sugar, absorbed directly by your liver. And when your liver is overwhelmed, unable to process it completely, that fructose transmutes into fat and, more critically, uric acid. This is where the real, devastating harm begins, particularly in the most vulnerable joints: your toes, your ankles, your knees. Uric acid, a crystalline assassin, accumulates in these joints. It ignites an intermittent, burning, swelling ache, that persistent, nagging pain that transforms even a light walk into an excruciating ordeal. Have you ever been jolted awake in the dead of night by a piercing, stabbing pain in your big toe? That inexplicable stiffness in your calves after a day of rest? It could be something as deceptively minor as a handful of grapes, silently driving your uric acid levels sky high. And it doesn't end there. Fructose, relentlessly fueled by grapes, also stokes the fires of chronic inflammation throughout your entire body. This manifests as slower, more agonizing movements, increased pressure on your already beleaguered joints, and an almost unbearable stiffness. And here's another deadly trap. Grapes are far, far too simple to overindulge in. They are small enough to nibble onto, bite after bite. They feel light, harmless. But before you've even registered it, you've consumed 2, then 3, then 4 cups. And that sugar? It accumulates with shocking speed. So while grapes might seem like the ultimate nutritious snack, they are often silently weakening your legs, savagely reducing your flexibility, and making every day a little less comfortable as you age. You now know what insidious forces can be hidden behind that sweet, innocent facade. If you've been mindlessly consuming grapes on a regular basis and have been experiencing increasing stiffness and swelling, The truth has now been laid bare. But grapes are not the only delicious fruit capable of such silent destruction. Another is luscious, vibrant, and celebrated for its hydrating power. Don't be fooled. On the inside, despite its watery facade, it functions like a sugar-laden bomb. Let's talk about watermelon, the fourth fruit. Watermelon, the bogus hydrator, a beacon of light, a burst of revitalization, the very embodiment of hydration in summer. But is it truly possible that this seemingly innocent, watery fruit is subtly, systematically damaging your legs? Isn't that a preposterous notion? Everyone agrees watermelon is the ultimate hydration hero. It feels safe. It boasts minimal calories. It's primarily water. But here's the sinister secret, the truth concealed beneath its refreshing exterior. Watermelon possesses an extremely high glycemic index. What does this mean for your body, especially as you age? It means it detonates a rapid, violent explosion of blood sugar levels, much like consuming pure candy. And for seniors, those frequent, uncontrolled sugar spikes inflict catastrophic damage, particularly to the delicate infrastructure of your legs. Let's dissect this molecular treachery. When your blood sugar levels surge with such ferocity, your body unleashes a torrent of insulin. But in aging bodies, insulin is poorly regulated, struggling to cope with these sudden demands. This catastrophic imbalance results in a widespread inflammatory response, particularly in areas already suffering from inadequate circulation, precisely where your legs ache the most. Where does this inflammation appear? Your calves, your ankles, your knees. You may experience an immediate crushing leg tiredness after eating, a dull, agonizing discomfort when attempting even quick strolls, that bizarre, persistent swelling around your ankles that seems to defy all remedies. Stair climbing begins to resemble ascending a treacherous, impossible mountain. Watermelon's light texture is a master of deception. On the inside, it operates like a charming yet deadly trap, gently, meticulously wearing down your legs. Most people, lulled by its juicy, refreshing taste, consume it in vast quantities. A single slice morphs into two, then three. And with each additional slice, more sugar, more stress, increased inflammation. It's a masterful deception. You believe you're drinking water, hydrating your body, but instead your blood sugar is spiking, your circulation is screaming in protest, and your legs are paying the devastating price. Does watermelon truly help seniors stay hydrated, or does each sweet, deceptive mouthful subtly amplify the discomfort, the pain, and the sheer difficulty of movement? It could be time to reconsider if the watermelon on your plate is a frequent guest, and your legs have been feeling mysteriously, relentlessly exhausted lately. Now let's move to a fruit so deeply intertwined with vitamin C and robust health, it's almost a sacred cow. Juices, immunity-boosting elixirs, breakfast platters, it's ubiquitous. But for seniors, it may be launching an acidic, relentless assault on their joints. Let's expose oranges. Oranges, the fifth fruit, the acid attack on your joints. They are vibrant. They carry that crisp, invigorating scent. They are omnipresent in your juices, your health supplements, your breakfast platters. They are lauded, celebrated, virtually worshipped for their supposed immunity-boosting powers, thanks to their vitamin C content. But oranges may be concealing a brutal, unpleasant reality for elders, particularly those past the age of 60. What lurks behind that radiant citrus glow? Acid, an enemy to your delicate joints. Citrus is abundant in oranges. While this might seem utterly normal, it can initiate a quiet, insidious irritation within your joints, especially if your body's already valiantly battling the silent fire of inflammation, the crippling grip of stiffness, or the persistent agony of arthritis. When you wake up, you may experience a gradual, terrifying stiffness in your knees, a persistent, nagging hip pain that defies explanation, that uncomfortable, throbbing sensation in your legs after prolonged sitting, a noticeable, alarming decrease in mobility, and an increased, baffling swelling. You might dismiss it as just aging, but that healthy, innocent practice of sipping orange juice every single morning could be the very catalyst, the hidden contributor to the agonizing pain you're desperately trying to prevent. This is what truly transpires. The citric acid in oranges, a potent chemical, extends its reach far beyond your stomach. It infiltrates your bloodstream, where it becomes a microscopic irritant, exacerbating the delicate tissues surrounding your joints. Furthermore, when this acid combines with the fruit's natural sugar, it unleashes violent blood sugar fluctuations. And what is the inevitable, devastating result of that? Systemic inflammation throughout your entire body. Every step seems a little heavier, a little more painful, due to inflammation that spreads like wildfire to your knees, your ankles, and your calves. You see, oranges may be perfectly harmless for a younger individual, but for an elderly person with aging joints and a sluggish circulation, the cumulative effect develops subtly, relentlessly. The most heartbreaking aspect? You're doing this with the profound conviction that you're benefiting yourself because oranges have been synonymous with wellness for generations. But you are now armed with the truth. They could be undermining your very health. What comes next in our gallery of silent aggressors? The following fruit boasts a pristine appearance. Green, crisp, ostensibly lower in sugar. Many believe it to be the ultimate safe option, but it conceals a sinister secret that can result in agonizing nighttime cramps, unyielding tight knees, and hips that scream in protest. Let's dissect green apples. Green apples, the sixth fruit, a secret cause of leg pain. They present themselves as the epitome of health, crisp, clean, organic. And the vast majority of people, especially seniors, firmly believe they are the superior, healthier choice because they taste less sweet. They seem like the quintessential healthy, low-sugar snack. But most people are frighteningly unaware of this. Green apples might be subtly, meticulously causing weariness, stiffness, and agonizing leg pain. Two primary threats lurk within their wholesome exterior: malic acid and hidden natural sugar. First, let's confront malic acid. This is the very acid that bestows green apples with their distinctive sour flavor. And while it's perfectly benign for youthful digestive systems, it can be brutally unpleasant for aging digestion. Our gut lining, once a robust fortress, becomes more sensitive with age. And malic acid, once it enters the body, can irritate delicate tissues, including the precious cartilage in your joints. After consuming green apples, some elderly individuals report severe hip or thigh pain, a bizarre, insidious heat in there, or an unyielding tightness in their knees. The damage is not instantaneous. It takes time. But as days turn into weeks and weeks into months, the acid accumulates and the agony intensifies, becoming more frequent, more crippling. Now let's discuss the sugar. Even if they don't taste as sweet as their red counterparts, green apples still contain significant amounts of natural sugars. And that sugar, for elderly individuals with slower metabolisms, acts as a potent trigger for violent blood sugar fluctuations. The terrifying symptoms? Your calves may feel perpetually tired. Your legs may cramp violently at night. You may experience an unyielding stiffness in the morning or a profound weakness when attempting to ascend stairs. The most devastating aspect is that green apples are frequently consumed uncooked, as a seemingly innocent snack, or even right before bed. As a result, your body is subjected to their constant, relentless assault. They appear pristine, pure, and utterly healthy. But green apples may be subtly, systematically making it harder to walk, stiffening your joints, and making your evenings a restless, pain-filled nightmare for your aging body. What about a fruit so tropical, so rich, so overwhelmingly sweet that it can have this devastating effect? If a fruit as basic as a green apple can, the one most adored by countless individuals. Let's expose the ultimate sugar bomb, the grand orchestrator of joint destruction, the mango. Mango, the seventh fruit, a sugar explosion for your joints. Juicy, soft, almost like pure candy. Nearly everyone adores this fruit, especially during the sweltering summer months. Here's the soul-crushing truth, though. The mango may very well be the single most harmful fruit for elderly individuals grappling with joint weakness and the agony of leg pain. Why? Because it contains an absolutely staggering amount of natural sugar. And when I say staggering, I don't mean a little. I'm talking about a monumental, seismic sugar punch that will send your blood sugar skyrocketing, sharply and violently. Now, if you're under 30 and actively engaged in physical activity, your body can often manage that surge with relative ease. But after the age of 60, your metabolism undergoes a profound, fundamental shift. That sugar rush doesn't just pass, it triggers a catastrophic insulin spike followed by an equally devastating crash. And every single time this biochemical roller coaster occurs, your body unleashes inflammation deep within your joints, particularly in the soft, vulnerable tissues surrounding your ankles, your hips, and your knees. Especially if you have any pre-existing nerve problems, you can experience a searing, burning sensation in your toes, a bizarre, persistent tingling that refuses to dissipate, alarming swelling around your feet in the evening, or a creeping, oppressive heaviness in your legs. Because mango tastes light, feels fresh, and doesn't seem like a substantial meal, it is terrifyingly simple to consume in larger portions. But doing so only amplifies the devastation. That's the masterstroke of deception. The sensation of lightness is utterly irrelevant to your body. Your body reacts to the sugar, and over time, that sugar can systematically trigger chronic joint pain, transform walking into a sluggish, agonizing ordeal, and render your legs terrifyingly unsteady. Many elderly individuals consume mangoes with a joyous heart, believing they are indulging in a natural, wholesome delight. And it is natural. But natural does not always equate to safe for weaker circulation and aging joints. You have now seen the complete unvarnished picture. Despite being relentlessly hailed for their supposed health benefits, these seven fruits harbor a dark, detrimental aspect for people over 60. They are the silent architects of your discomfort, your stiffness, your lost mobility. But here's the critical pivot. Here's the good news that will ignite a spark of hope. Some fruits possess the opposite effect. They are true allies. They actively promote strong, sturdy legs, ruthlessly reduce joint pain, and valiantly combat inflammation. Next, we unveil those champions, the therapeutic alternatives, the true power-packed fruits that elders should be consuming. Let's move on to what you can eat now that you are armed with the knowledge of which fruits to vehemently avoid. Because eating the appropriate fruits does more than simply satisfy your hunger. They become instruments of profound healing for your body. First, let's talk about the undisputed kings of anti-inflammatory power. Berries, blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, strawberries. These vibrant little powerhouses are potent anti-inflammatory agents. They are incredibly mild on your blood sugar, bursting with protective antioxidants, and remarkably low in sugar. Above all, they are champions of circulation, especially in your legs. They promote easier mobility, actively combat stiffness, and significantly lessen debilitating edema. Next, a controversial but incredibly potent ally, but only when consumed sparingly. Cherries. In fact, cherries possess an almost magical ability to help reduce uric acid, dramatically lowering the likelihood of agonizing gout attacks and vicious joint pain flare-ups. They are a balm to sore joints and can extinguish that burning, searing feeling in your knees or toes. Remember, a handful of cherries, not a generous bowl, can provide significant, tangible relief. The avocado comes next. Yes, it is a fruit. And it is quite simply one of the greatest foods for healthy joints you could ever consume. Why? Because it is laden with a treasure trove of healthy fats that ruthlessly reduce inflammation throughout your entire body and provide a vital cushioning effect for your joints. Additionally, it plays a crucial role in insulin regulation, providing steady, sustained energy without the devastating blood sugar fluctuations that plague aging bodies. Are you searching for something that is exquisitely easy to digest? Something that offers soothing relief? Then you must give papaya a try. The enzymes found in this tender, tropical fruit are legendary for their ability to reduce inflammation and facilitate digestion, making it a gentle giant for aging joints and mild on even the most sensitive stomachs. And finally, never forget to include pears in your diet. Always consume with a small amount of fiber or protein. They deliver a subtle, delicate sweetness without being overly sweet, providing vital, sustained energy to your body without putting undue strain on your legs. Each of these fruits, instead of working against your body, actively supports it. They don't inflict discomfort. They don't make you swell. They help your body achieve the vigor, the equilibrium, and the profound serenity it craves. It's not just about eating fruit, remember. It all comes down to making the intelligent choice, picking the fruits that are perfectly suited for your body right now at this age. And you will begin to feel the transformative power almost immediately when you consciously make those decisions. Firmer steps, calmer motions, and mornings that feel utterly, refreshingly clear. Let's conclude this journey with some final remarks, words of hard-won wisdom, and a message specifically for you. One truth screams at me. If you've stayed with me this far, if you've absorbed every single word, then you are profoundly, passionately concerned about your future, your strength, and your health. And I want you to hear this truth unequivocally. It is not too late for you to change. You still possess the incredible capacity to recover. And you are absolutely, categorically not alone in this struggle. Getting older is challenging. The pain, the stiffness, the creeping fear of falling, they arrive so gradually, so insidiously, and sometimes they can conspire to give you the terrifying impression that your body is simply vanishing. But here is the empowering reality. You have the power. You can take charge, not by resorting to extreme measures, but by making sensible, modest, yet profoundly impactful adjustments. One meal, one fruit, one conscious decision at a time. The fruits we have meticulously dissected today aren't inherently evil. They are not designed to be harmful for everyone. But for your aging body, for your delicate circulation, for your precious joints, they might simply no longer be the best choice for your health. And that's absolutely, definitively all right. Because growing older doesn't mean surrendering. It means becoming more intelligent, more discerning, more attuned to your body's unique needs. You will witness a profound, undeniable difference when you begin to eat mindfully, when you consciously select meals that actively promote strength, invigorate your circulation, and soothe your joints. Less discomfort, more flexibility, smoother mornings, and lighter, more confident steps. That is the very essence, the profound point of this revelation. Not fear, but liberation. Not limitation, but expansion. I'd like to hear from you now. Tell us what revelation struck you most today. What profound change are you prepared to embrace? Share it in the comments section below, because when we share our truths, we all grow stronger together. Let's build a community of support. And if this video was helpful to you, if it even slightly opened your eyes to a new understanding, then please hit that like button. Smash it. Click subscribe to ensure you never ever overlook any vital information that could fundamentally alter the trajectory of your health. Turn on the bell before you leave. Please input 1 if this video was useful. If not, type 0. You may not realize how crucial your comment, your engagement truly is. Remain resilient, remain observant, and never ever forget that your independence, your freedom, your entire world is carried by your legs.